Good afternoon everyone, welcome back. It's one of my least favourite times of the year. We're testing the Sava. It's like the first afternoon one we've done in flipping for ages. It'll be over 10 years probably. Only 2/3 get milked in the afternoon, so needed a few more flasks. Also got these long ones, which we probably don't need being twice a day now, but some older cows in the morning which are on once a day, or in the once a day herd that may need them. Here come the girls. She's on heat. On heat cows always seem to sort of come up first. I actually AB'd a couple of cows this morning as well. We're about 5 days due from starting AB, but there's a couple that were nice, so I've put sex semen in them. That's my sort of thing. I use a little bit of sex semen the week before we start, so if those cows don't hold, I'm not too worried because we'll still get them in the first 3 weeks of mating with just conventional. But if they do, then we'll have a nice heifer calf out of them, or a probable heifer calf out of them. This is one of them right here, number 87. She's a beautiful cow. Integrity daughter, which was quite a well-known Jersey bull. Left really nice cows. She's might be 6 or 7 years old. You're an 18 born, and we're in 25, so she's 7. She's never given me a heifer calf, so hopefully it is the year for that. Or I should say, hopefully it's your year, girl. Hopefully that one held. Come on. She was actually on yesterday morning. I seen her getting ridden, and with sex semen you're best to leave it till they're sort of off their peak, and with halter it says they're either pre or plus, so it gives you like plus 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours sort of hit that peak. And I waited till this morning because she was sort of coming down off it, so hopefully giving her the best chance. She's also had a couple of preheats as well, which is a good thing if you're using it. Put a picture up here. This is all the cows that are on heat today, and see how it says pre, and then these are the ones that have been on heat the longest. It says post. I probably wouldn't go as far as to say it's sunny. There's a lot of clouds around, but at least it's not raining. It has been incredibly wet over the last week, actually the last couple of weeks, but over the last day or two it has just bucketed down. So it is nice to get a fine day. Cows sort of do milk better when the weather's nice. There's my favourite heifer this year, number 40. I put her in this mob just because she's big enough and thought she could handle twice a day. Beautiful cow, that one. Hasn't come on heat yet though. I'm not too worried. We're going to scan her at the end of this week coming. Becca's coming out to scan all the girls that haven't cycled, so we'll do her. I think she'll come on heat though. Let's see what's going on anyway. That'll give us a good indication. Go time. It's also Dad's favourite time of the year. You might have mentioned it once or twice before. Oh, I think I spoke too soon. A little shower come through. We had a really dry calving, and now it's just been a really wet start to the spring. We sort of get a shower at some point every day. Bloody frustrating, to be fair. I think everyone's getting a bit over the wet. We need to get silage off. Need to get maize in soon. Might be pushed out a little bit. I definitely need to change these flasks for next time. That is the afternoon milking, but yeah, I can go back to the smaller ones. Definitely don't need these large ones anymore. Here she is here at the front. Everything looks primo though with her. I think her coat's looking good. She's got good condition on, so she should be cycling. Although I thought I did see her getting rubbed the other day. Also got another heifer in this mob here as well, or in the twice a day herd, and it's her, number 312. Her mum's 3/4 Frisian, the big black cow I've shown you in the past, so that's one of her daughters. She's also got another daughter in here that milks real well, but she was quite a kicky heifer. So what I did was put her in here so we could get the cups on her twice as much a day, and it sort of settled her down pretty fast. To be fair, actually, once we changed her over, she stopped kicking sort of straight away, so yeah, interesting. Didn't do too bad for a heifer. As good as some of those cows, that's for sure. Lucky enough to get a heifer calf from her this year. Hopefully it's not her last though. We can get a few more over the years. There's another favourite there, number 36. He gave me a heifer as well. On to the last row, the last 9. This afternoon, her test done and dusted. 201 animals complete. Mum's come down to help. Sped things up a little bit, to be fair. You thought the cows were giving it a little bit less tonight though? They didn't seem as full as other nights. Maybe the weather's sort of just taken it out of them a little bit. In a couple of previous videos I said I wanted to fill the vat up, and I think our vat's 5,700 litres. Well, the other night we got to 14 litres shy of it, so that was pretty cool. But the other morning, or 2 mornings ago, we had quite a bit in there, and it looked like it was fairly full. So I rung Fonterra up and just sort of warned them, I guess, or not warned them, but just made aware that our vat was getting quite full. And she said to me, oh, the capacity is only 5,400. So it was 300 less than I thought. Obviously you can fit more in than they say, but they've actually put us on to twice daily pickup. So the tinker comes in the morning, picks up the morning milk, and then it comes at night and picks up the night milk. The person I was speaking to, she referred us to, or she put the inquiry through to the team that handles like milk collection and stuff, and they're going to look into it and probably come to us, I guess, and see whether we want to put a new vat in for next season. But the only really reason we're filling it at the moment is because I put penicillin in the vat the other day and I'm not taking calf milk out. So I think I've got about a day's worth left of that milk left to go, and then I'll be taking calf milk out again, so we could probably go back to every day pickup, which is way better because you don't have to wash the vat twice a day. I'm glad I got my maize ground sprayed out when I did, because it's getting quite hard to find good days to spray. There's a little tinge of yellow about it. You can sort of see up on the hillside there, there's 2 different colours from where he's sprayed and where he hasn't. There's quite a bit of water coming down here since all that rain on Friday. Oh look, there's one right there. And because there's so much water, the carp have come up from the lake. They're not real massive, but they're still pretty big. You can see it just in there, ready thing swimming around. I've never seen them that big up in this stretch, but since we've cleaned it out and made it pretty accessible for them. I need to get myself a fishing bow, or a real long pole, like a spearhead, just those little trident spears on a massive big pole, and just definitely need to get one of those. They'd be quite fun. There'd be thousands in the lake down there, thousands and thousands of them. Like I said before, they do get pretty big, but once the water gets up in the drains up here, they like to swim up, or because they can swim up and eat all the new stuff, or eat all the plants and stuff. So I'd say they get pretty hungry down there with the amount of them there. I've just spotted another one. He's actually quite a biggie. Far out. There's quite a few up here. This is nuts. There's another one just in there. Far out. There's an orange. Oh, there's a couple there. There's an orange one sitting in the weeds. It's a little bit hard to see on this camera, and then I can see another one up there swimming sort of where that drain comes down there. He's just tucked in there. They're actually pretty big. Cows are coming in here tomorrow, so I came in earlier on just to sort of set it up, and that's when I spotted these ones up this far. I'd never seen them this big up this far. There was about 3 or 4 of them that were just sort of just in here. I don't know what they were doing, whether they were mating or something. That is crazy. I so need to get myself a spear. They make real good bait. Oh, look at that sucker. He's massive. Look at that one. Flippin' heck. That'd be like 30-40 centimetres probably. It's the trouble in here, there's quite a bit of foliage, or there's a bit of a bank there, so they can get under there and hide. They are such a toxic pest though, and nothing's really been done about them. Actually, no, nothing is being done about them in our lake. And there are in a lot of peat lakes around here. I did find an article back in like the early 1900s talking about carp in Naruto. So they've been around for well over 100 years, but they're just an absolute pest. They go and eat all the foliage, they eat all, you know, scare off all the native fish, and they do so much damage. Like that big one before has just gone into the bank, and they actually sort of nudge themselves into the bank and burrow their way in. So then they create a lot of sediment that goes down, and then they also, well, the bank sort of gets caved in, and then it falls into the drain, creating more sediment. I mean, a fish trap in a drain that'd be the way to go. Once they come up, put like a fish trap in, and then once all the water goes down, they've got to go back downstream, so that's when you can get a lot of them. Look who's at the front again, number 40. Some of these cows just have their place they like to be. Dark out there, so you can't see, but it's another wet morning. It's not really raining heavily, it's sort of like a real heavy drizzle, but there's that, and it's a little bit cold, so the cows aren't milking as well as they have been the last wee while. We dropped a few hundred litres last night. Onto the heifers now. It's fairly, not misty out there, but very drizzly morning, dreary morning, maybe we should be calling it. But these girls, they've never had a herd test before, so it's always interesting seeing what they're going to give. This is a nice heifer here, number 80. She's giving a little bit, but you never know until you get the results back. Some of these cows, oh, there's no cows on this row. Oh yeah, here's one. Two at the end here actually, so they tend to fill the flasks up. They're sort of filling it up to there. They got a little bit of milking out to do, whereas these heifers, see this one, she's done, and quite a bit less. I had an older cow in the last row that's sort of pumping. There's a heifer, and then there she is there. So she's filled that up quite a bit. It looks very creamy as well, but I'd say that might have overflown the last flasks, or the smaller ones. So that's why these are handy, but majority of these cows wouldn't have. Last row heifers are on now, and then there's just 4 cows at the end which are on penicillin. This second cow here, 178, she milks like a train. She's got a horrible udder, real droopy, it hangs on the ground almost, and she's actually got staph in that quarter there. She's actually an integrity daughter as well, but she's actually a cull cow. I've just sort of kept her around because I milk her last, and I sort of feed her milk to the calves, so the staph doesn't matter quite so much, but she won't be going in the herd. You see that third one back's got it as well. Bit of an art getting this time. I have seen people put blocks under their feet to lift the whole cow up. Like this. She does milk out, it sort of just sits like that, letting a little bit of air in, but once there's a little bit more milk comes out, it sucks on better. She's pretty much done now. This cow here, she's done, and their flasks look fairly similar. Got about the same amount of milk in each. But I know that she gives more because I've been milking her on the test bucket and filling buckets up, and I know that she gives about 30 litres, and that cow there gives about 25, maybe a couple extra. So yeah, I thought the level on this would have been much higher. I kind of feel like the cows that milk slower, they definitely get penalised, eh?
Well, it would appear so, but because you have a test bucket on the cow, so you know exactly how much it's giving, but it'll be interesting to see how what they come back at.
Yeah, I know, but there's some slow cows in the herd that we put the cups on early because they take a little while longer to milk out, and then they don't really give much. Well, there's not much in the flask, but yeah, I don't know. I always think that they get penalised a little bit more. Be interested to see what other people think. So good to get that out of the way. It's actually the next day now, so the milk got picked up yesterday, and the results have come through. They've just come through now. So the cows cell count in that herd test was 150,000, which is probably on the little bit higher side. There were a couple there that had cell counts of up to nearly 10 million, which is flipping high, so they need looking at. Milk solid wise, they're doing 1.77, which is a little bit lower than what they have been. I guess the whole thing about it is you're really getting the information from your herd, so if the weather's affecting it, it's affecting all of them. You're not really comparing yours with somebody else's. Well, you can do, but that's not what I'm doing. I just want to see the good cows. So it's affecting them all. Broken down into age groups, so there's the 2-year-olds, there's 57 of them. They are doing 1.1, which seems fairly low. I definitely think we can make some progress there. Ideally, once we do our cow shed, I'd like to put them back to twice a day, I think. I'd love to put everything on the feed pad, have one herd, and go back to twice a day. That is the grand scheme of things, I guess. At least they're going to cycle well. But the 3-year-olds, they're 1.75. 4 to 8-year-olds, which is most of them, were doing 2. So the top cow, number 21, that was doing 3.2 solids, which is a 10-year-old. So she's on once a day, I think. And then milk AM, 27 litres, milk PM, nothing. So she's giving over 3 solids once a day. That's pretty good. Straight Jersey as well. And then we've got some 4-year-olds doing 2.8, 2.6. There's quite a few doing 2.6. Pretty happy with that, but yeah, 3.2 solids. That's a lot for a once a day cow. Far out. Well, what I want to know is with the heifers, or the first calvers, I kind of want to know what they're doing, or the top ones. Number 40, she is at the top, so she's doing 1.8. So she gave 10 litres in the morning and 8.5 at night. Sow count's nice and low. That 312, which is the daughter of the black cow, that's doing almost 1.6. He's a once a day cow. Oh, that's a once a day cow. Number 84, she's a nice cow, 1.5. She's on twice a day, 199, 1.45. So that's good. All the top ones are doing good. Then at the other end, there's number 6. She's doing 0.4 of a solid, which is absolutely terrible. There's 78 doing 0.64. She's actually quite a nice cow, that one. Although these cows could have been on heat, or they're holding their milk because they're coming on heat. So it might not be as bad as it looks, because the sort of, yeah, there's them, and then there's a gap up to the sort of next one, or the next bottom ones, which are about 0.8. But interesting, 3 out of the top 4 are the ones that are on twice a day. So that's how we get that production increase. Actually, one more thing, that 178, the cow with staff, says she's given 19 litres, 1.6 solids, but I reckon that isn't true. I don't think that's true, because like I said, I have milked her on the test bucket and she gives almost close to 30 litres, if not more than 30 litres. So I think she's been penalised for being a bit of a slow milker. Love to know other people's thoughts on that one. We're seriously having some spring weather. This morning it was absolutely tipping down. The rain was so heavy, and now the sun's come out, but with the sun we get the wind. So it's either rainy or windy. Fonterra's database can't be quite right, because this is a 5,700 litre vat. It says it right there. We actually had readout from Fonterra this morning. He does like all the vat stuff, and he came out just to have a look and see if we can get a bigger vat in here. So we're gonna upgrade it to the next size up was, so you could go 57, then 67, and then I think it's 7,400. So we could get a 7,400 through the door. So we're gonna go to that one, which just means we can get on to skip day pickup sooner than we normally would. It was actually pretty interesting having him out. He said that what ideally they would do is that if you had a spot next to where the vat is now, like right there, we've got a blooming water tank there, they'd love to chuck like a 11,500 litre vat there, so you can pretty much just go skip day pickup from the start. It just makes logistics easier for Fonterra. But to do that, we'd have to build a pad and then a concrete pad out here, and then it would probably have to upgrade the chillers and stuff. So it would be cool to do that, but probably not right now. So we're just going to go with an increase in vat, which should solve our problems going forward. I'm actually going to be taking milk out tomorrow morning for the calves, so I need to ring up and go back to once a day pickups, because everything will fit in here sweet as now. Plus, we're sort of getting to the peak, so in a couple of weeks we'll probably start, or the cows will start sort of dropping a little bit once they start getting in calf. There is also a cow to inseminate this afternoon. I was speaking to Connie, my halter rep, yesterday. She rang up just for a catch up, and she said that with the heats it comes up pre, so if you're using sex semen, do anything that is post, so it will say plus, and then up to 12 hours. So plus, anything up to 12 hours is good for sex semen. She's, or the cow that's on 265 that I want to put on her, she's a nice cow. It's her first heat since calving, so normally you wouldn't do that, you'd go for something that's had a couple of them, but because she is a good cow and we haven't actually started mating yet, I'm just going to chuck it in and hope it holds. If it doesn't, I'm not too worried. That's what I reckon. Everyone's a little bit different. I know the sex semen does cost a little bit more, but I'm willing to take that gamble on a good cow. There's another one to do right there, number 32. She's on heat. Her light should be flashing. Yep, but she is still in the pre-phase, which means she hasn't peaked, or her heat hasn't peaked yet, so I'll get her in the morning. Oh, there you are, right there, girl. Hey, that's the one to do. She was on my list to scan on Friday, so can take her off now. There's actually a couple that have come on that have been first heats over the last day or two. Make sure you get it in calf though.
What number was it?
Doesn't have a number.
No.
Sweet. In calf?
Yep.
Good. However, that'll pretty much wrap it up for this video. Just doing some last minute training with your calves. We've got calf club tomorrow. We've got Spotty, Milo and Rainbow over here. So hopefully they go alright. But apart from that, I'll see you next time.